What's up, everybody? Matt Gajeski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. And today we're talking college basketball bets ahead of the best college basketball day of the year. We've got the semis or the quarterfinals in most of the conference tournaments because it is Friday, March the 10th. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. If you're listening on podcast, please leave a rating and review as well. And we are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. They have a no-brainer limited time offer for you guys, which I think you should take advantage of today. There's a great way to do so. I'll tell you how. First of all, you're going to bet $5 on any pregame money line wager. Doesn't matter the team. If that bet wins, you're turning your $5 into 150 automatically. And why I say today is because we have Houston favored by nearly 24 points. That means on the money line, they have one of the best chances of winning you're going to find in all of college basketball, giving you a really good chance to win that bet and turn your $5 into 150. You can take advantage of that by clicking the link in the video description below and make sure to make your first deposit on DraftKings and then make that pregame moneyline wager. We'll be on Houston today for that personal bet. All right. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. The legal age for gambling in most states is 21 plus. Okay, finally getting over my cold. We had a rough day overall yesterday. Lost some bets on the video and just overall sickness, but we're getting through it. And this is my personal favorite day of the year. As far as overall competitiveness and amount of games, you're just not going to beat it. I know people love the first two rounds of the tournament, but overall, this is the most competitive day just based on the teams still left in their conference tournaments. And firstly, we usually don't start with this, but this bet was one that I just had to lead off with. I think it's one that's not going to be available. So I'm going to bring you to our odd shopper tool. At the top of the screen, you're going to see a bet between UC Riverside and UC Santa Barbara towards the under 137. So first of all, this is odd shopper. What it does is it analyzes the entire market, all the sports books, and finds lines that are inefficient, lines that might be lagging behind, lines you can get now, which are moving. And this one at the top, UC Riverside, UC Santa Barbara, I just could not believe my eyes when I saw 137 available at DraftKings Sportsbook towards the under. Of course, I live in Wisconsin. I can't use DraftKings Sportsbook, but I like to use this tool to look at line movement, immediately reference the sportsbook I use, and it's at 135. So this is one we love towards the under. To speak stylistically, you have a game that projects to be slow paced overall. You have Santa Barbara really playing extremely slow. They're averaging 67 possessions per game, which is about 3 possessions below the league average, which is 70. They're a tough stylistic matchup on defense for Cal Riverside, which is a different story here. But you have a defensive and slow pace game, and you have a line lagging behind on DraftKings Sportsbook, which is one we can capitalize on. So usually don't start out with this, but our first pick is going to be under 137.5 in this Santa Barbara Riverside game. And if you'd like access to this tool, we have a 7-day free trial available. I would recommend either doing that right now and getting the conference tournament games or waiting for the start of March Madness. You can include the play-in games and get that full week. Time it up. Click the link in the video description below, but you're going to find little spots like this every single day, especially in college basketball where we get a lot of crazy line movement. All right, let's go to our regular picks. I will bring you to the tip. I think Canva is working today. I apologize again yesterday for that disaster of a day. You just had to look at my face the whole time. But all right, it is up. Sick. We'll bring us there. In the SEC, we've got Alabama taking on Mississippi State. Alabama makes their SEC tournament debut, one that I am personally extremely excited for. And Alabama's a team would bet -6.5, expecting a lot of line movement here against Mississippi State. Alabama's playing the best basketball of their year, and they won 4 straight games prior to the game they dropped against Texas A&M in the season finale. And interestingly, I referenced shot quality. They had that as a resounding Alabama win. Their score was 83-75 based on the actual shots taken on the floor. So Alabama playing the best basketball. They should be 5-0 in their last 5 games. And I say they're playing their best basketball because they finally have Javon Quinterly healthy. He's playing over 30 minutes a game, gives them an elite scoring weapon outside of Brandon Miller. We've seen that in multiple games now. Noah Clowney's playing over 30 minutes per game and playing really well on the interior, which is important against a team like Mississippi State, who's bigger and they play through their size. We saw that with Tolu Smith yesterday, just eating up points in the paint, getting a ton of free throws and a ton of fouls. That is an issue here for both teams, really. You've got teams that turn the ball over a lot and foul a lot. But Alabama is significantly deeper than Mississippi State, significantly. Alabama can run 10 or 12 players deep in any given game. And they have advantages across the board, the main one being on offense. 45th in offensive efficiency. Mississippi State is 224th. Mississippi State really can only score from the interior. That's going to be a big issue against Alabama here. So we're going to lay the points first and foremost with the Tide, expecting this one to move throughout the day. Going to our next one. We'll head over to the Big Ten. I'm breaking my sworn promise to not bet the Big Ten, but Indiana is a dog against Maryland. +1.5, +1, seeing this move through a pick'em. And I think Indiana probably takes some money. I don't think this is as crazy as the Bama line movement, but I think Indiana is still a value here. I think there's a real argument that when fully healthy, Indiana is the best team in the Big Ten. An argument. I don't think it's for sure. Obviously, Purdue and Zach Edey would have something to say about that. But Indiana does have head-to-heads against them this year. And in this matchup, they played once in the regular season, which Maryland won. And that's a big thing with Big Ten. You've got essentially the streakiest conference in the entire nation in the Big Ten. Anyone can lose or win against anybody on any given day. But overall, Indiana does have advantages, assuming they play to them. In terms of height, both these teams are pretty equal. But Maryland only scores from 2. And that's actually a strength of Indiana's defense. So when I say they only score from 2, you can look at them and their three-point percentage. Maryland is 70th in two-point percentage, again, which clashes against the 36th ranked Indiana interior defense. And then from 3, Maryland is 251st in three-point percentage. This team cannot shoot the ball, and they rely on scoring on the interior. Well, now that Indiana has Race Thompson back, that interior defense has improved. For a while there, it was just Trace Jackson Davis by himself. So this is a key point to the game. Meanwhile, on the other side, Indiana is 71st in two-point percentage, and they're 23rd in three-point percentage. There's multiple ways this team wins. And plus, they have a stud in Trace Jackson Davis who facilitates it all. They have an awesome guard in Jalen Hood-Schifino who's been a solid shooter for them. And now Race Thompson back really helps on the defensive end. I'm cool with anything really through a pick'em in this game, but we'll be back in the Hoosiers against Maryland. Going to our final game, we have Arkansas taking on Texas A&M. Arkansas skirts past Auburn yesterday. Texas A&M makes their debut in this contest. These teams played twice in the regular season. They split the matchup. It was basically a blowout in favor of whoever was at home in that particular game. But the X factor here for me was Nick Smith didn't play in either game. Well, he technically played in the second game, but he played 4 minutes. This is essentially immediately after he returned from injury. Since then, he's returned to the rotation, returned to the starting lineup, and returned to playing almost every single minute for this team, which is important because based on overall Bayesian performance ratings, he is the most efficient scorer on Arkansas, which narrows the gap between that 121st ranked offense for Arkansas and the 61st ranked offense for A&M. And this is an interesting stylistic matchup, and why I like Arkansas, especially as a dog, you can find them +1, is this team is much deeper. So stylistically, similar to Alabama and Mississippi State, you have two teams that really struggle with turnovers, two teams that generate a lot of turnovers on defense, two teams that really have struggles getting in foul trouble, and two teams that generate a lot of fouls. All that spells just pure volatility across the board. The difference here is Arkansas is deep. They now have essentially 4 guards you're comfortable playing 35 plus minutes in Council, Black, Devo Davis, and Nick Smith. They're very deep on the interior with the Mitchell brothers. And Texas A&M is the exact opposite. You've got Marble and Coleman on the interior, really nothing else. Wade Taylor. I mean, this team has really won through Wade Taylor just finding his way to the free throw line, which is a possibility here, but one I think that Arkansas can sort of mitigate through their depth, especially if that does happen. Wade Taylor's been awesome at getting to the line. Regardless, you have the team playing really their best basketball of the year, largely due to injury, coming in as a dog. So this is one we'll back towards the Razorbacks side as well. But that'll do it for us today. There's a ton of games and more bets. We'll have content on those all throughout the day. I'll have some on Twitter as well if you'd like to follow me at Matt_Kajeski. Let me know what you guys like. If you agree, disagree with these, if there's additional ones that you're taking, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, we'll be back again tomorrow and Sunday talking all of the semifinals and conference championships. Until then, good luck, everyone. We'll see you again next time.